Septembre frappe à votre porte et c'est très bientôt le mois des rentrées académiques en Grande-Bretagne. Rien de plus passionnant que d'étudier dans l'une des plus prestigieuses universités au monde en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures vous facilite la tâche et désormais vous offre la possibilité d'aller étudier en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques sur le choix de vos filières, la vie en Angleterre, mais surtout la direction à prendre après vos études. Tenez par exemple, pour les étudiants en filière master, sachez-le désormais, vous avez la possibilité d'obtenir 2 ans de visa après vos études afin de permettre votre intégration sociale et surtout de trouver un emploi fiable, convenable à votre diplôme. Mais ce n'est pas tout. Pour les étudiants en cycle STEM, entendu par là, les sciences, les technologies, l'ingénierie et surtout les mathématiques, sachez-le, désormais, il est plus facile pour vous d'obtenir une résidence permanente en Angleterre. Alors, FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est désormais la porte qui vous est offerte pour arriver en Grande-Bretagne, de faire des études meilleures et surtout d'avoir un avenir sûr. Global Educational Ventures, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques avec des professionnels qui sont là pour vous diriger exactement sur la bonne voie jusqu'à l'obtention de votre visa. Retrouvez-nous dans l'un de nos sites web, retrouvez-nous par notre contact WhatsApp, retrouvez-nous par un contact email que vous regardez au bas de cet écran et je suis sûr que vous aurez une réponse satisfaisante à votre demande. Merci de nous avoir regardés.
What nonsense is this? Rubbish people. How can I receive such an amount of money?
How much did you get?
£200.
Let me see what you got. Oops. See what I got. I just received £200 from my brother.
Oh, you got a lot more than I do.
Oh yes, with MoneyFix, you can receive money from any part of the world to Cameroon directly into your mobile money account at the cheapest rate.
Wow. Are you looking for the best exchange rate for all your money transfer? Try MoneyFix. Log on to moneyfix.com. MoneyFix. Fast, easy, and cheap service to Cameroon. MoneyFix.
Skin woman is choosing the right skincare products. So here guys are a few of the products that I use that make me feel very beautiful, very confident. And if you have any skin issue, be it acne, hyperpigmentation or oily skin, dry skin, whatever problem it is you're facing with your skin, trust me, Escape is here for you. Escape is actually formulated to suit all skin types, all melanated skin types. So when you use this, you see how confident I'm feeling. This is going to be you. after using Escape products. Trust me.
Hey, hello, 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 hello. Hello everyone. Let's just give some time so we build up our audience.
I don't know if I'm live already. Hi, Bison. Can you get me? Hi, guys. Can you get me, please? Because I can't get myself. What's going on now? But I can't get any audio. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. It's another Friday. Relationship hot topics. So today we are going to talk about peer pressure, something very important. I'm very delighted to welcome all of you here. So it's the usual three set of people, the three favorite faces you've always seen here. So I'm going to invite, first I will invite Denzel. Denzel, can you come on, please?
Hi, Emanuela.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I was just getting confused, like, am I in the show or what? Because I think my camera got frozen or something like that.
Yeah. I noticed that as well. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for being our host. And hello, fellow viewers. I hope you all are having a beautiful Friday. And it's another Friday for us to have a very important topic, peer pressure. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad Emma is our host of today. And I'm sure we all are going to have a very how is my volume? Is
You're
everything
fine.
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all are sorry. Hopefully
Sorry.
we all are going to have a very beautiful show. So I should not steal Emma's position. You know, she's the host. Before I steal her thunder, let her bring Bison in. Thank you for having me, Emma.
You're welcome. It's fine. I mean, you're permitted to steal today. Official stealing. So, Bison, can we have you on show, please? Bison's fans, I mean, I know.
Hello. Once more, I'm coming again for the second time for today.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Once in a while, we should expect such to happen.
Sure.
Well, I'm happy to be here again once more for another Friday on Relationship Hot Topics. And big thumbs up and pumping hearts to all our followers who have always been there, the loyal followers, the fervent one, that they always make sure they're on time. Every Friday, 5 p.m. Cameroon time, you're always here. Let's listen to what we have our two regular smart brains here, Denzel and Emmanuel. Let's listen to what they'll have to share today on on peer pressure. The thing don't worry always. Except myself, I've been a victim of it. But that notwithstanding, let's listen to the others and see what they have to say about it. Once more, and for the second time, I say welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Yeah.
Today we are going to sit. I'm going to listen to you. I don't know why you always take yourself out of this thing. Let's listen to Denzel. Let's listen to Denzel. And when it's time for you to talk, you say a lot of things for people to pick out from. So today I'm listening, actually. What's this? Let's listen to Emma and Denzel, you know. So today I'm listening to you.
You know, they say we show this equality thing. So we want to give all the powers to women. So
okay. So I mean, so you and Denzel, you can just stay quiet today.
We just give you. You can just say everything. Yeah, we want to give everything to you, women.
Okay, thanks about that. I mean, guys, you're welcome again once more to the show Relationship Hot Topics. Share the video, tag your friends, tell them we are here again, and this topic this time around it's going to be hot because I think almost everyone has experienced this peer pressure, like Bison actually said. So if it was about victimizing, then we are all victims or we are all culprits. I don't know how we're going to put this, but you know, in one way or the other, we were kind of moved one time by pressure from our peers or something like that. So today it's going to be hot. Nobody is going to feel guilty more than the other person. No one is going to point fingers. Nobody is going to feel like, you know, this is not about me. Let me wait for my topic, because you will obviously find yourself somewhere, somehow today. So that being said, Denzel, I would like to come back to you.
Yeah.
What's your overview about this topic? What's your overview about peer pressure? What do you think about it overall?
Well, personally, I think it's you cannot live in this world without going through some of these pressures, except you are probably living in the Mars or in Jupiter. In as much as you live with us on planet Earth and you socialize with people, it's very evident that you have had one or two people that has influenced you in one way or the other. And also, I want people to, let me just add this, that peer pressure doesn't just affect young adolescents or young teenagers. It's something that affects even adults in your professional life and your social groups, you know. So without really going really deep into it, we all have witnessed it or we all have experienced it, and we have been victims of it in one way or the other. And today we'll be explaining how some of us escaped the peer pressure, how some of us were victimized or fall short of it. So I think it's a very important topic for us to talk about and have a vivid a discussion about it. So I think it's a very important topic. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you so much, Denzel. That was a great overall about this. It's worth the time and everything. So this one, I come back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think? Just give me an overview about this peer pressure stuff.
Yeah, you know, when we talk about the peer pressure, just as Denzel said, we always think like, oh, it's among teenagers or adolescents, but we all have peers, because it's either your age group, your peer is your age group, the people you socialize with, it may be your colleague or the people you are going to school with. And they say humans are social beings. It means, like it or not, come rain or shine, you always have peers. And these people we have around us as colleagues, as age mates, as classmates, schoolmates, or whatever, they have a particular role to play in our own lives as we grow up. So it's something that we can't escape. You know, it will influence us in one way or the other. It may be in any form, but we all have experienced the influence of our peers in our own lives. And we have also influenced our peers in taking decisions in their own behaviors and attitudes. So we are here today, we will see how our peers have transformed our lives and the way we live our life today, how it's been influenced by our peers. Like my brother Denzel said, I know start with an example. You know, he's a close friend to he's a close friend to Kwo Ilonge. If you look at their life not the same. No, I don't know who influenced the I don't know who influenced the other. Whether there's an influence Kwo or not Kwo influence Denzel. But if you look them, you see like a vivid picture of peer pressure happening between these two guys. So
This one has started.
no, I'm not started.
Okay, I mean, like this one, I think what you said has taken me somewhere. You know, when we talk about peer pressure today, I think it's kind of different from what we've always known in our days about peer pressure. I mean, peer pressure, the definition stays, it's the same, but the kind of peer pressure I think we used to have, it's different from this modern time and all of this. But I think before we get into that, yes, I think I would be intrigued now into you guys, you know, your privacy kind of, because you're now talking about Denzel, and I'm curious. I want to know more. First of all, Denzel, tell me, give us an experience, just some brief experience about your life in the past and how you were kind of influenced by this peer pressure stuff. We are coming back to this. So he was pointing fingers. I said today is not pointing fingers day. It's going round. So.
Well, I think that's a very good question, and it's a very important one to me, because for the fact that I grew up in a very rural area and in a very small community and an environment where it's full of youths. It was not really easy for me to grow up and become the man that I am today. I made so many mistakes, and and I made mistakes that, like, unspeakable things. I had a couple of opportunities to be a great man or a good young child growing up, a young man growing up, but because of the peer pressure, because of the group that I was in, because of the people that I associated with, it kind of like take me to a swing. Like, I grew so fast or too slow. You know, it was like I was in a race with people with sport cars and other kind of things. So I ran so fast and I made so many mistakes that I'm trying to build some of them at this old age, not old age, but at the age that I am now. I'm trying to rectify some of the mistakes that I did in the past. Like, for example, my secondary school, I always tell people this, that it took me 4 years to pass ordinary level. And that did not just happen because I was dull in school. It happened because I escaped from classes. I was not there to take notes. Let me say, we were like, I'm sorry that I have to really speak a little bit. We were like in a group of guys that was, I witnessed this in Form 3, and we're like 10 or 12 of us in a group, like big boys in school. Like, our school was a young government school, but we were the top guys in the school. We were like the first and second batch, you know. So being the first and second batch, we were like the biggest guys in school. We were doing crazy things. We were running away from classes. And could you imagine that in Form 3, our final exams, out of 15 boys, 11 boys were expelled from school. Yes, 11 boys were expelled from school. Then 3 of us were asked to repeat from 3. And because the 11 guys were expelled from school, we said, okay, the 3 of us, so we decided that we could not stay back in this school. We followed the 11 guys in another mushroom school.
Yeah.
And we continue the life there. Let me say from my Form 3 right up to Form 5, I did not copy 20 pages of note. I did not have it. So can you imagine how would that there was no way I could pass the ordinary level exams because I didn't have materials for the exams. I missed classes. So that alone took me 4 good years before I could pass ordinary level. So that is what we talk about, peer pressure. And most of my friends, they did not even have they failed, and later on they just quit the exams and all that. So that is what we talk about, peer pressure. So that was one part of my life in school. And socially back home also, it was still not easy. I started drinking alcohol really early. It was not really easy. So on my side, I could say I experienced a whole lot of pressure from friends. I copied a whole lot of bullshit. I practiced it as well. And I'm sure they also copied some stuff from me. So with time, I think I will be unfolding a whole lot of things from my own part of the side. But from now, let me hand the floor back to you before you can talk to this Abang boy.
And the thing about it is that both of you have the influence of peer pressure. Both of you kind of influence each other. So you're a good example of peer pressure.
This guy influenced me.
So coming back to you, Bixon, can you give us a brief experience about your...
Wait, Emanuela, was this thing about us?
It happens to be so. You started it by pointing fingers at Benze, so I thought it should go wrong.
I didn't know it was about us. Well,
not for you to go deep into your privacy. Just be shallow.
Denzel told us everything. He told us about education.
Your transparency will lead to someone's transformation. Okay. So be transparent so it can lead to someone's transformation. Come on.
Denzel, you talked about how you were influenced, how peer pressure influenced your education and maybe a little bit of your social. But you didn't tell us. There was one thing I wanted to hear. What was it? Peer pressure that took away your virginity or something? I was expecting to hear that. I was expecting to hear that, but you didn't tell me.
You can tell us about
you. Well, okay. Actually, I'm one of those people who really suffered in the hands of peer pressure, and I did from my early days in secondary school. I didn't have that much influence in primary school because I really believed in, I don't know what was happening back then, but in my primary school, I really believed in I saw my parents as my first teachers, and I really believed in them. That was what was happening. I didn't see anything out of, I could learn anything out of my parents and out of my teachers in school. I was that real person in my primary school. No, my parents are the only teachers, and teachers in school, that's the only people I should learn from. So I wasn't really influenced that much. And my parents as well, my mom was really strict. It used to become my head. So fear, I could not take anything from anyone. And then boom, I went to secondary school. From one, that was my first semi-independence in the sense that from one, I went to a boarding school, and then I didn't have that pressure from that fear from my parents that, I saw myself, I call it semi-independence because I wasn't taking instructions from my parents directly, but maybe from senior students, like prefects in school, and then teachers. and I didn't think like they were qualified enough to give me instructions and I should take from them. I was like to say asking Bison to talk now is peer pressure. Exactly. And so you see, I started now. I had this independent, and then independent from who? My parents, people who I've been learning from. You see, people I've been learning from. Then they were no longer there, so I could learn now from anybody. And guess what? You won't learn from the right people. You know, the first peer pressure I could really remember, I didn't come from that home where we were financially well-to-do, but I was going to a boarding school where we had all types of students from very, very rich homes. And then it was in my first year in the secondary school from one that I heard of video games like Nintendo. I only heard about it, and then I'd never seen it before because I guess the price of that game, they said almost then our school fees. I don't know if it creates that kind of thing, you know. So I only heard about such things in school. But now when my friends, when they were together, they were always talking about games, this, that. But now I was really lost. But you know, one of these things of peer pressure is that you want to belong. You want to belong. Yeah, you want to take part in every conversation. You know, anything that's happening, you want to belong. But now you don't have a mastery of what's going on. They have these games at home, maybe their relatives, uncle and aunts and things like that, cousins have it, but me, I know be get them. I just hear and for that was like, something they let you one, you know. Then when I went back home, the pressure came now that I I started leaving home now and start going to video clubs like game clubs in the streets. Yeah, I could get money from home because I wanted to be versed with this game so that when I go back to school, I also have something to say about the characters of the game and things like that. So that was the first peer pressure. And this place was one place my parents didn't like, but I would say, hey, to hell, man. You can't tell me I shouldn't go there. Then what am I going to talk about when I go to school? I don't want to go be a dumb like in the first term, you know. And that really made me, I became part of this group. We only talk about games, and it really affected my education as well. I really had difficulties. The difference between my primary school education and secondary school is really, really a contrast because I was really doing well in the primary school. Then when I got to the secondary school, it was so different. It was like a contrast, the complete opposite, two extremes. So it was that was the first peer pressure I could really get. But without talking too much, I think I should end here, and then I give the floor back to you, Emanuela. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Just that you didn't talk about your virginity, you know, like you were attacking Denzel about virginity.
Yeah, peer pressure tried to take that away from me, but it didn't succeed. So I'm still keeping it.
Okay. So far, guys, this one is still a virgin. Peer pressure did not succeed in that area. So thanks, guys. You know, first of all, peer pressure is when Answer Kitu is trying to get married and not wanting to believe in God. Answer Kitu, I hope you're listening to this. You don't want to believe in God, yet you want to get married. That's peer pressure, Answer Kitu. Go and believe in God, though. Since we talked about religious affiliation in this, Answer Kitu has not rested. He's crying about he had a kingdom of all base. That's peer pressure too. So yeah, now coming back to me, I have a little experience about peer pressure. And before that, just to say that let's our viewers know that when we hear peer pressure, it's true. Most of the time, it always goes to the negative direction, but you can also be pressured to do something positive.
Absolutely.
Yes, because in the days of our school, I mean, when we were studying, you'll be pressured to keep to a certain level of performance, because if you don't keep up to, your friend is going to go ahead of you. I know I used to experience this, because when you know that somebody can beat you in your performance, you're pressured to study, you're pressured to do better. So it's not always negative. Like some people are like, hey, no, nobody can influence you to do something. Of course, somebody can influence you to do something.
Because they think only of the negative. Yeah,
exactly. You always want to meet up. So I just like this short story. You know, when I was in secondary school, that was the period when Stargate, I don't know if people used to watch Stargate. Remember Stargate? There was a movie called Stargate.
Yeah, on Saturdays on CLTV, most I guess. On Saturday, yeah.
This famous movie. So because of that,
so they don't burn you that time, eh? Okay, I didn't know that. Sorry.
No, this I will see the clip.
Good to know.
So because of that movie Stargate, when Stargate came, it's true that people were actually going. How is it, like, boundaries? How did I say people? When people go about, like, when you're not allowed to leave school before time and then you leave, English had to
the skill defense or something.
Yeah,
go out of bounds, and
exactly. So during that period now, they started calling that gate in most schools Stargate. When you don't go through the main gate, when you have to go behind the school and you skip, it was Stargate. Hey, that period be the hot. And then it was that period, that Nigerian movie too. When I watch them for us, the sweets. But when you go to a video club, oh my goodness. When you go to a video club, the sweetness in it, you prefer to go and pay that money and sit and watch from part 1 to part 4. Then the dandan, when they make a fancy video club, all of that. So it was so rampant there that people were actually going through Stargate. Then, we would over here, the boy, they don't go, they don't pass the Stargate. Boy, they know they're around, especially in school, no day. The girl, they don't try. Just that and say, that Stargate, they say, it go around, no, not the only boy that they skip. Yeah, then to the skip. So I had to go do Stargate, So my friends and I, when we just check, it didn't say school, no, they like it's serious. We just go and do Stargate. And then we go, it used to be my phone queen. We just go there, go and pay, enter, video club, watch the movie very well, then you come back for us, they say you come out school. So actually, the road we used to pass to go to that video club, it was in my mother's workshop. Was just around. My mother was working somewhere around that place, and most of the time she used to sit outside. And when they sit outside, they'll be discussing and checking around. Then I check say the sidewalk or the road is so clear, no tree, not in a block. If you don't look, they will see me. So whenever I'm coming with my friends have to stand around. Then I'm in the middle. Then I'll start limping. Because she would never imagine in her life that her daughter lived. So I'll be limping and passing around the place. She will look, she will see that a group of girls are actually going, but she will never imagine I'm part of it. And we used to do this. That period they call us Rascal Week. After I've written the exams and then they are waiting for the result. So this being said, we've all had this experience in one way or the other. It's true that all of those things, they are getting worse these days. It's not like it used to be. Things are getting different because social media has come into the picture. A lot of things have come into the picture. That's why even peer pressure is really just getting worse. I mean, see, Phoebe Maron, be very careful. This was my schoolmate. If I catch you there, you get problem here and you. All right, so that being said, guys, I'm coming back to you. Coming back to you, Denzel.
Yeah.
So, Marion, can you please send us this Emanuela's school picture?
If I catch this girl, she'll be blocked from Facebook. Anyway, so Denzel, I'm coming back to you. So, in what areas do you think we actually we can easily see this peer pressures, this case in particular? At least we've talked about the past, some of the things we used to do. So, this modern day examples of areas where we can see this peer pressure, please.
Well, I think nowadays it's easy for us to notice peer pressure on especially for young women on trying to catch up with fashion. Trying to catch up with fashion, what our celebrities are wearing, what people of influence, the kind of lifestyle that they are doing. You will see a lot of young people that will engage into buying expensive stuff that they cannot really afford. But they are trying to catch up with the trend, what is trending, all these expensive brands. people are trying to catch up with it. So that's one of the areas where you could easily notice that peer pressure is there. You cannot really see it like it is what it is, but as I'm like when you are someone who focus on this, let me say these things, and common observers, you can see them, they are very common, or natural observers. I don't really know the right term to use there. You see people, the things they do, like smartphones. There are so many people now. Everyone wants to jump into the iPhone 12 or Samsung Galaxy Pro on all those things, and the consequences of these things are like it pushed some of our young women into premarital sex, into different things that they are not fully equipped into, because they are trying to meet up with the norm of today, you know. And there are so many consequences of that, STDs and all those things, because you're not fully equipped. You have no knowledge about the activities that you're engaging in. So that's what I think that's what it is. For adults, I've seen people who like they keep mates, especially like, let me still talk on women. They keep mates that they are not supposed to keep mates, because their social colleague, their people, their social class, like their colleague, their friends, they have housemate, house help. You know, they too want to keep house help because their colleague or their boss in the office. And very often, these people cannot even afford a house help, or they want to live in a certain neighborhood because certain people live in that environment. Exactly. So these are all pressure. Yeah, these are all peer pressures that we get from our social class of people, social group, which I think it's really killing our community and our youths. Because the future, especially now with social media, things are trending so fast that you might want to live like Kim Kardashian. You might want to live like them because you see them popping, like posting their beautiful moments. And if you're not careful, you might want to get in the boat, but you're not ready to boat with them. Exactly. So that's it.
Okay, so thank you, Denzel. So guys, we are going to have a short break now. And when we come back, we continue with this song. So see you shortly.
Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through Moneyfex.
How come?
I receive more money through Moneyfex because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more?
Oh, yes. Use Moneyfex to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfex. Receive more money through Moneyfex today. Moneyfex, fast, easy, and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.
Hello and welcome to Watchesay Academy, an educational management firm. Watchesay Academy is the largest e-learning platform in Cameroon capable of simultaneously supporting 5 million students. Our primary objective is closing the gap between the demand and supply of educational services and the adaptation of technology to minimize educational loss. At Watchesay Academy, we have taken upon ourselves to 1. Create content for schools in Cameroon. 2. Convert them into ebooks that covers the syllabus of the academic year. 3. Provide video-based lessons, develop automated grading tools to enable students to carry out self-paced assessments, and make the content available on our e-learning platform for as low as 1,000 francs CFA per subject. In order to visit our website, open a web browser and go to watchesayacademy.com.
Good news for Cameroonians living abroad and taking care of their loved ones back home. You can now purchase medications from the Your Farm app and have them pick them up from a local pharmacy. Here's how it works. Payer's journey. Number 1, you search the medication by typing in the name. Number 2, then you select a pharmacy in a city where your loved one lives. Number 3, you make the purchase using PayPal or credit or debit card. Number 4, you send the unique confirmation code to the recipient. Recipient's journey. Number 1, the recipient presents a confirmation code at the pharmacy and collects the medication. Download Your Farm app now.
Hi guys, welcome back. It's your favorite group on relationship hot topics. We are talking today on peer pressure. We know it's getting hot and it's getting hotter. So I will invite Denze and Bisong back into the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Masa Bisong, do we give you 2 hands so?
Bisong, can we hear from
Victory. Yes, Emma. Before I say what I want to say, please share the video, pump us hearts. Share. I haven't today. I didn't say share until it gets to Ngoke Tunja. Share until it gets to Afab Village in Manfe. Right now, as we speak, my grandmammy don't log in for her Facebook account, and she's expecting you guys to share so she can see it. So please share until even meet. So well. Emma, you were asking where what was the question? You're asking about where
we experience peer pressure these days.
The different areas we experience. I don't want to really go right down the lane from this primary school or early secondary school, early school lives, because it's quite obvious. But let's really focus on this like youthful age, you know. And the first one, which I know after saying this, so many people will be angry with me, but I will just talk anything happen. Yeah. The first, I will just take, I will start with education.
Okay.
Education in Cameroon, peer pressure has influenced education in Cameroon, like I can say 99.9%. Let me give you an easy statistics.
Okay.
If there are 100 Cameroonian Facebook users, 99 out of these Facebook users studied in the University of Buea as per their profile information. Do you agree with me?
Okay. I'm getting it.
Yeah. Yes. 99. Oh man. I don't know. People think education started and ended in the University of Buea. Oh man, check so many profiles.
The place to be when you're not there.
So many profiles studied University of Buea. I have even seen a girl who said studied at St. Joseph's College, Sase, on this Facebook. If you not play, I put that profile. If you not play, I put that profile up. Now. A girl, she said she studied at St. Joseph College. So, you understand? Okay, now this is just about Facebook. But if you go for anybody who has been in Buea, if you see, majority, and when the advanced level results are out, people apply in the University of Buea. Some are admitted, some aren't. That's why if you make any if you make any school like higher education in Buea, it's likely to succeed, even if it's a mushroom school, even if the programs offered there are not worthwhile, even if the programs offered there are not job oriented. You always have students, because Cameroonians, majority of students after advanced level, they want to live in Buea. No matter what, even if you open Nawushka in school, you will get students above. Immediately, all those who apply at the university are rejected. They just start going now for this. I don't want to mention names because, you know, it's not proper, but I know some people really go there because they want a particular career, but others, a majority, they go because they want to be in Buea. They want to study in Buea. This is the biggest peer pressure that is happening, that has been happening from like 15 years ago, even 20 years ago till date. It still happens. Yeah, you apply at the University of Buea, you are not admitted. You start looking for all these little mushroom schools. You start looking for things that maybe some schools that are not even recognized, some schools that are not even accredited by the Ministry of Higher Education in Cameroon.
Yeah.
All these backdoor schools, you just want to be there because you want. Maybe there is a school, there's a school in Douala or wherever that you really learn, you become a professional in something, that you earn a job tomorrow is sure to secure you some career tomorrow in the future. But you reject it because that life for Douala, who do you know in Douala? Most of your friends, the whole Kafiage, Idena Boya. So whatever thing you find, whatever studies that can keep you in Boya, you want to be there. It happens even till today. It's still happening. In so many cases. That's why I say, if you look at even many Facebook profiles today, you see University of, I don't see people the way they know study, they don't even go university, that in their profile studied University of Boya. I see girl, he put up studied St. Joseph College, Sase. You know, this is peer pressure, Sase. It's a single sex school for male. I wonder how boy will manage, a girl who feel in a profile that studied in St. Joseph's College. I say, this is just the feeling of belonging, which is one of the causes of peer pressure. You want to belong, you know, that's one of the issues. And then the next thing again is about this bush falling thing. It's like this coming abroad is like the optimum thing people can do. It's like if you don't go abroad, it means you haven't made it in life. If you don't go abroad, it means you are the last person in the society. If you don't go abroad, it means you are not civilized. If you don't go abroad, it means you are not well to do. All this is fake. Peer pressure has made people to abandon prominent careers, profitable careers back home. It has killed their talent. They have destroyed their talents just because they want to come abroad. People have closed down their business that it could take them to places just because they want to come abroad. Just because they sit on Facebook, they see people abroad, beautiful pictures, looking nice, blah, blah, blah. You know, they just want to come abroad. So these are the two prominent places, two very common cases. Education, and I will link it to career-wise, education, and this bush falling, what the decisions people take in their life, it has highly been affected by peer pressure. People don't no longer concentrate on their careers, which could earn them a life in Cameroon. They just want to travel abroad. It's because of pressure. You are in a group of friends. They say, "Do you want to go this side? Do you want to go this side?" You meet someone in Cameroon. Hey, Master, I want to remain for the country. They born una many. You were born alone, you know. And I don't remain for. I don't remain for the country. And I don't remain for the country. You just want to travel. You don't care if your journey was the same like the others who travel. You don't care if your future was the same. You didn't have the same plans, but you just want to travel because the group in which you call your peers, they have all traveled. You want to travel. Anyway, I won't talk much for now. Let's end it here, and we'll give you, the host, the chance to talk, and we'll come back again. Thank you, Emma.
Yes, Bissell. I mean, like, I was just wondering, like, what were you doing on their profiles before seeing where they actually studied?
It's not like I go about looking. Listen, it's not like I go about looking at profiles. You know, one thing leads to another. One thing leads to another. We do a lot of things online. We buy online, you understand? We create contacts. We ask for help online. There are many people online that go asking for help, but I can't just go asking for help without even looking at your profile. At least I look at your profile. If you say you are selling this thing, I have to check where are you located? You say you sell this in Douala. I check at your profile. Where are you located? I mean, you want to ask someone in Douala to trace you and things like that. It's not like I go about looking at profile and do that.
I was just helping a neighbor to ask the question, you know. Yes, so
continue helping your neighbors. You go watch your neighbor a close more time. You are helping your neighbor.
Okay, so you said something very important about University of Boya as one of the biggest area where this peer pressure issue was actually experienced or is being experienced, which I think it's from the basic, you know, there is a foundation about all of this. You know, before, University of Boya was the only Anglo-Saxon university in Cameroon. And before you get into this university, your results, you have to pass English, you have to do all of this. And in our minds, we knew there's no way you want to go to University of Yaoundé out of your own will when we know you're studying in French. So there used to be this conclusion by many And I think many people are still doing that today, apart from the fact that University of Bamenda is now available. Like, hey, you know, can University of Boya because you know pass English. You know, can because you know pass maths. You know, can because you know get up to 4 points. So this shoulder stuff, I think it's something that has been building for a very long time. And then they start looking like it's a set of people who study in the University of Boya in such a way that, like you said, somebody wants to be in just any institute in Boya. So that by the time they ask you, who's are you studying? You will not say you're in Biaka. At least Biaka was even better. You will not say you're in Gims. You'll just say, no, are they for Boya? Because once you say are they Boya, everybody will know that at University of Boya you did. So you see people who spend their time in the campus, they don't study there, they spend all their time there. So I kind of like really support what you're saying, Bisong. And I think this was coming from the basic, you know, that very introductory part of our studies in Cameroon, of which I think is not completely so new, because if you look at the university, Harvard University, well, I say, and people they cook only watafufu, they say watafufu will go Harvard. I be like, you should not for Mampi, watafufu go Harvard when? You live University of Bamenda. You live University of Bamenda. You live University of this thing, Yaoundé Boya. You gonna Harvard. So this, you know, it's a kind of influence and pressure that is actually like really around. Now, still talking about peer pressure, you know, we are on relationship hot topics. We need to really see how we can connect these things to relationships. What's your take about peer pressure and marriage these days?
Well, Emma, thank you so much for that question. I think before I try to analyze a little bit, peer pressure has a lot of impact when we talk about marriage. And I want people to understand that when we talk about peer pressure, there are both sides of that coin, peer pressure. There are positive side of it and there are negative side of it. So you as an individual, you need to know, you need to understand what is happening in you or what is happening to you. You know, for me, at the age that I am now, I see certain pressures as a reminder regarding to marriage. You know, there are some things that I think we cannot kick them out of the bucket. Like, okay, when probably this is me, I just believe in this. I believe that when you are younger, the chances of getting marriage are high as compared to someone who is older. When you observe our community, you see that the percentage of women who get married after 40 or after 45, the percentage is really slim as compared to people between 23 to 27.
True.
Okay, so let's assume that you are 25 and you are done with your university or your work and all that, and you see people who are getting married at 30, right? Let's be positive in the way we grasp the peer pressure. This could easily be as a reminder to you that, hey sis, hey bro, or let me say sis, things are happening. Maybe it's time for you to start to get into a serious committed relationships. You know, some people might still be playing, drinking in the bar, going for nightclubs, doing crazy things. But at this time, when you're 25 and you see people at 27 or 30 getting married, it could encourage you, or as a reminder that, hey, you need to put your things, you need to put your life in a position where someone can come in, and you also need to compromise. Like, at this moment, you should not be closing doors too much. You should not be shutting down suitors at a very high rate, especially when these people are trying to commit. They are not trying to be abusive or to steal from you. You know, trying to, like, there is something women always say. One of my friends told me this, that when you are 35, they used to say, what a man, something like that. I've forgotten the explanation. Say man, all those things. These things could act as peer pressure, but also look for the positive part of it. It is a reminder. It is still reminding you that, hey, brother, or hey, sister, something is happening in your life.
Mm.
You know, so it's time for you to wake up and do something with your life. When you like regarding marriage, I think these things are important. The pressure, it's important to a
Yeah.
certain extent. It reminds you of who you are. Take for example, I'm sure we all are Christians, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I've lived beside a church. I've lived beside the church, and every Sunday morning, I think 8:30 like that, we normally hear the bell of the church. This
Yeah.
bell is acting as a reminder to the people around that, hey, it's almost time to come to church.
Yeah.
It's almost time for you people to start like prepare your stuff and come to church. So I
Mm.
see this is the way I download this information. Look at the importance of it. The peer
Yeah.
pressure will act as a way of reminding you that put your stuff together, get married. But again, there are also negative side of it. You want to just let me say you are interested in the wedding and not in the marriage. You know, because marriage will need you to commit. It's not just about you trying to have a wedding where people will spend maybe 10, 15, 20 million. Then later on, you divorce. You know, so you need to understand those differences. What do you really want when it comes to that marriage part? But I think it helps on both sides. Just nowadays, people with zero understanding about relationships or marriage, peer pressure has pushed them with too much comparison. I want my wedding to be bigger than Emma's wedding, or than Bison's wedding, or than Deli's wedding. You know, I want my if my husband is not bringing a Range Rover for our wedding, I'm not going to get married to him. So these comparisons, it's kind of driving our youth, our people into, I could say, depression, a lot of anxieties and all that, because they are trying to fit in. So I strongly believe that we can take out the positive side of peer pressure, but without forgetting that there are negative side of it as well. Pertaining
Okay.
to marriage, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So thank you for that input, Denzel. Yes, like going by what you said about
Yeah.
peer pressure in connection to marriage, where we look at this early stages of stuff. You know, in my opinion, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's true. We advise people use your youthful age wisely. Kind of,
Exactly.
make use of this. You know, on the other hand, I feel like when we talk about peer pressure in connection to marriage, it's more in the negative direction and not positive. Why? Because you cannot be pressurized to get married at 25. No, because it's not solely your decision. In as much as you need to make use of your youthful age, it's not your decision. So kind of
Yeah.
pressurizing you to get married so that you don't get to 35 is not in the positive. I won't take it in the positive, you know. If I take, for example, before we went to the university, we used to have this discussion, you know, people will be like, hey, you know, if you go university, by the time you come to university, you never get husband, you know, if you ever married, we know them you married. I'm talking about when we're just in the high school. This is a discussion people are having. Do you know what that can do to an individual, especially a lady? Because when they talk about this, they're talking about a lady. And how are they connecting it? They are connecting it to her educational level, because she might get too educated for a man. They're talking about her age, because she might go past her marital age, like we think. And now what happens to these people? They start thinking like, okay, I make sure, say, immediately I go for year one, so I start look. So you're in school, you know, you concentrate, you look at potential husbands, and you do anything to grab and to keep anything, any Jack and Jill come for your corner, you grab and keep, because you do not want people to think that it's your fault. You're the one sending men away, or you want to keep a man. You want to make sure that before you reach year 3, you and your fiancé, so that you tell your story in future. We dated for 3 years, from year 1 to year 3, and we got married. The kind of pressure. So I see it more in the negative side. So based on, I don't know, like, what do you think about this aspects about peer pressure and marriage? Because in my opinion, that's the area where it's widely seen these days, and it's causing a lot of havoc, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Denzel. Denzel, you gave some very insightful points there, but still, I still disagree with you on some issues where you try to look at this pressure, the peer pressure on marriage, as comparing it to the church bell as a reminder, trying to make it look like it's a positive pressure. But first, let's really look at it from our own society, the society in which we belong, our African society, or Cameroon precisely. Let's look
Yeah.
at how the pressure on marriage between the two sexes, the male sex and the female sex. Where does the pressure on marriage lie? Where does it fall on? It weighs a lot on the female sex. But
Exactly.
now, who has the responsibility of making the marriage move? It's the man that has the responsibility of making the move. But why is the pressure more on the woman? You know, the woman, of course, it's the responsibility for every woman to be of good moral standard and behave properly, so to attract the man. Okay, but it doesn't mean every woman who isn't married is not attractive enough, or is not a marriage material, or a wife material. That being said, I tried picking out some issues on how peer pressure, how it influences the effects on marriages. You know, one of the most common influences are like unprepared. You have unpreparedness to marriage. You know, because marriage is not something that we get into it because it is available.
Yeah.
We get into marriage not because marriage is available, but we get into marriage because we are ready for it, you know. But now, so many people, I'm talking now from both sexes, like the male and the female. So many of us, we have involved ourselves in the marriage, in the act of marriage, not because we are ready, but because we think it's available. How is it available? When the people around us, I'll go back to the word, I'll try using the word, when our peers, we see in our small groups, we see friends start getting married. A is married, B is married, C is married. And then I, Mr. D, I think like, oh, I just get for married now. Any gay way I see an answer, I just get for, I have to do it. Why? Because my friends A, B, C attended my wedding. I attended their wedding. I should try by all possible means that they should attend mine. I should get married. So now it's leading to an unpreparedness in marriage. You're not ready for it, but you're just getting, of which marriage is something that you don't only prepare yourself financially, but you also prepare yourself mentally, psychologically. You should, because it needs commitment and sacrifice. So you must be prepared to commit, and you must be prepared to sacrifice in order to belong to be in marriage. But now these are the things, and that's why we see a lot of marital problems today. And then another issue again is depression. When now the people around you are married and you are not married, especially for the female sex, you become so depressed. You think like you are losing everything. You feel like you are the loser. Especially for women, it affects them until it even affects their career. You see, that's why it's so common. You know, I don't want to generalize this point that I'm going to make, but in so many cases, you know, like when we are in school, when you go to school, or when you go to offices, when you go to an office and you see a woman who is so aggressive, who is so this, the first question you ask, "Is married?" And if they say no married, they say no doubt. It's like her aggressive nature is due to the fact that she's not married. This is how people start labeling every negative aspect of yours. They put it as a result of the fact that you are not married. When you're in school, if you have a teacher who is so aggressive, or is so wild, or so stern, the first thing you ask that teacher, that madam married too? No, you know, married. No wonder. Yeah. It don't born. You know, this is how people start attributing your negative attitude. They start bringing everything close. They start relating it to the fact that you are not married. And sometimes it's true. You become so depressed. Everything about you is arrogance. You express a lot of arrogance in everything you are doing. And then if it doesn't make you so depressed, the other side of it, what is it? It's desperation. You become so desperate for our feminine gender. They become so desperate. This is the pressure. Oh. Sometimes this pressure comes from our family members. But since we are talking about peer pressure, let's keep that aside. The other side, it comes from our peers, our friends, our colleagues. You are in an office. All the girls in your office, they are all married. All your colleagues are married. You are in your social group, church meeting, or whatever, on Jangi. All man for Jangi don't marry. When I don't go Jangi, don't go chop wedding for all man. Now you are the men. Who's Jane Jangi go can chop for your own wedding? Who's Jane? These are the pressures. You start. It makes you now become so desperate. The next man that comes your way, you see him as a potential husband. You see him as the man that will walk you down the aisles, even if he's not the right person for you.
Exactly.
But because all these your peers around you, your Jangi group, colleagues at work, and they put you this pressure. You are seeing them. Sometimes they they used to they explain it as unspoken peer pressure, because sometimes they don't tell you. You just see it. This unspoken peer pressure, that is when they don't tell you about it, but you just see it, the people around you, everyone has taken that step. You just see, oh man don't marry, Jane don't marry, Emmanuel don't marry, Deli don't marry, D1 don't marry, oh man, Nami wanna remain. So anybody that comes your way, so this it has led as well to unhealthy relationships. Exactly. When you become so desperate, what will happen? You obviously fall into an unhealthy relationship. So when we have to really look at this peer pressure of marriages, the negative effects outweighs the positive effect, even though there are some few positive effects in it, but it's so minute, because sometimes I can look at the way Denzel treats his woman so nicely, respectfully, caring, and I see the way Denzel's wife reciprocates these Denzel's gestures, and then I feel that pressure now. Oh, I should treat my wife this way. Maybe I will get the same feedback. This is the only aspect where a peer pressure will influence marriage positively.
Exactly.
Yeah, and maybe I have my friend who is not married, and when he tells me I'm not in a rush, I have to make sure I make the right choice. Marriage is not something you rush into. I may get this pressure, maybe even if I'm in a relationship, I have a fiancé that I was almost getting into marriage, but because my peers that I'm hanging around me, they keep making me to know that it's not something to rush. Then I may sit back and I say, wait, I should really observe my fiancé properly before I get into it. So these are the only few cases where peer pressure will positively affect the marriage life. But out of any other thing, it has affected marriage in a very, very negative way. And it's something that we really have to try to handle before it makes,
Okay, so
I think,
Thank you, Bisong. And just to support what you said, when the blame is being laid on women more, they are being seen as the bad ones who are not married. You rarely see people questioning men why they are not married, or asking hey, you don't married. Even when a man is getting to 40, 43, which to me, that's old age. Why you not married? You don't want to make the choice. What's happen where all your exes, you never hear propose for them. You want that they should propose to you. Yet nobody sees this. They look at the women, they give them these bad names. Now because I get bad fashion, now because it over go school, now because it this, now because that. And then the urge to make people see you in a positive way, you now start feeling this depressive, or you start feeling pressurized, like I need to get married to prove something to people. That's why you hear somebody who even say, married Najo for enter, cover head. Married Najo for enter, cover head. I've heard this a lot, so many times, people saying it. Married Najo for enter, cover head. You the cover head from who? How can you be lying to yourself?
Marriage na umbrella.
Umbrella. Marriage has become an umbrella now. So you enter so that the society knows that you're married, yet they don't know what you're getting inside. So that you should have this good name of I never stay. My sister, then they say, or they never married. My go fix was what name for our family. So I think it's really it's weighing negatively so much, especially on women. But before we continue on that, I think we should have our commercial break again.
Opportunities.
You got me a new blender.
Oh yes, thanks to the more money I've been receiving through Moneyfx.
How come?
I receive more money through Moneyfx because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more.
Oh yes. Use Moneyfx to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfx. Receive more money through Moneyfx today. Moneyfx, fast, easy, and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.
One of the things that make me feel very beautiful and very confident as a brown skinned woman is choosing the right skincare products. So here guys, I feel of the products that I use that make me feel very beautiful, very confident. And if you have any skin issue, be it acne, hyperpigmentation or oily skin, dry skin, whatever problem it is you're facing with your skin, trust me, Escape is here for you. Escape is actually formulated to suit all skin types, all melanated skin types. So when you use this, you see how confident I'm feeling. This is going to be you after using Escape products. Trust me.
Hi guys, welcome back to Relationship Hot Topics by Bisam, Denzel, and myself, Emanuela. So you're welcome again. I will urge you to please share the video, call your friends, tag your friends, tell them we are here again. It's another Friday. I mean, I don't understand. If you've been here for the past weeks, past months on your own, how come you keep coming to, this kind of house? How come you be coming alone? And now I ever go see work for some place when I don't let to go work, I want a friend alone. Call your friends, tell them there's something happening here. Let them come and enjoy it like you're enjoying it. I see some people enjoying like, wow, hot topic. I wonder whether you say your friend and they why they see you tag your friend and name them.
Can you imagine? I can't even see them pumping hats. Please pump hats and share, please.
Okay, so now I want us to connect this marriage thing to bush falling, like Bison started mentioning before, this peer pressure on bush falling too. I think it also has to do with issue of financial reliability and stuff like that. You're in the quarter, and then you're looking like, all my friend and chai, all man don't do the one or city house, any man don't belong. The fun about it is we don't know people's sources of income. We have no idea about it. Yet we obviously see people going abroad. We don't even know what they go there to do. But we are pressurized to go meet these people. We are pressurized to do everything. So the Mexico road to down the Iran, the Brampa, now food. They go. Honestly, I know in secondary school, it used to be like comedy that my classmates used to make, especially the guys. They'll just say one time like, that bush fun where all man they go, so no, wait, when seed don't dry, we go, what can our food go? I seriously did not even know that people will start even going on foot without even waiting for that seed to get dry. And now it's so rampant. So Denzel, what do you think about this peer pressure, especially on bush falling? Gradually, we are going to get on the effects of all of this. But what do you think about peer pressure on bush falling?
Well, pertaining to bush falling and peer pressure, for me, I will always try to balance up these things, because if we can unanimously agree that peer pressure, that like you mentioned in the beginning, that it helped you to work really hard in school to keep your grades up, and all that, it could also help you to become somewhat a nice daughter to your mom or to your dad, to your family. So now let's look at it now in terms of bush falling. There are so many benefits when you travel abroad. There are so many things that you can uplift your family back home, or even your individual self. You can do a lot of things. So I think what I would like our viewers to understand when we talk about peer pressure is, this is the way I see life, and I tell people around, my friends, in life, before you embark on any journey or on any goal that you want to achieve, look at the consequences of that goal. Look at the consequences of that dream, that thing that you want to pursue. Let's take, for example, going to America, falling to like bush falling to America. Do you have the money to pay fees and travel to America by flight? You do not have the money, right? Okay, now what is the easiest ways? The easiest way for you to get to America, like most people are doing. They said it's easy, but it's not the easiest ways. Even the riskiest ways to take is that Mexico road. Let's say you embark on Mexico. What can happen? You can die on the way. Is that a risk worth taking? It's not. So I always tell people, like, look at the consequences of it, what you are doing, the peer pressure that is falling on your head. What are the consequences of it? Let me give you an example. Back to me on during my secondary school age. If I had known what to do, right? Yeah. From 5, I was not studying. What are the consequences of me not studying in Form 5? It means I'm going to fail the ordinary level. That's one consequence. What another consequence can I add to that? It's going to take me another 9 months to prepare for the next sitting of exams. So when you put all these things together, it gives you that urge of do something right.
Yeah.
So that is the way I see it. Take another example of a young woman who is engaging in sexual activity underage. What can happen to you, like unprotected? What can happen to you? You can pick up, STDs.
Yeah.
You can have unwanted. So when you put all these things in place, it gives you that knowledge of, hey, I should not engage in unprotected sex, or I should not have sex at all with this person. So I think people should always put down the question, what they want to do, the advantages of it and the disadvantages of it, and try to evaluate them by themselves. It is too much. If your life is going to be on jeopardy or on danger, don't do it. But I strongly believe that traveling abroad has so much benefits. But do not go and kill your mom, or do not go and steal because you want to travel abroad. If you have the means, look for the simple possible means for you to travel abroad, which we think is studying. There is some advert here on Daily Smart Shop. That is a strong and genuine way for you to travel abroad. In the UK, these are the ways for you to do it. So if so, like, go like, look, do it in the correct way, do it in the rightful way. Don't put your life in danger because you want to travel abroad. These things have negative impact, negative pressures on our people back home, of course, but I still go back to you as an individual. Put it down. What are the consequences? Is it killing you? When I wanted to travel, Emma, I was planning to go to South Korea.
Yeah.
I told my dad that I want to go to South Korea. And one of my friends was in South Korea then, and we did the whole financial thing. We put everything in place. It was about 4.5 million. And I told my dad. My dad told me that Commandant Mali called me blessed. Say, blessed, I do not have 4.5 million to give you alone. This is your siblings. These are your siblings. Not that I do not have 4.5 million. I can sell one of my property and give you that money, but it's too risky for me and your siblings. And I was like, okay, I felt before I was really mad. I thought my dad didn't love me. It depended on how we have also been like fighting all through the lifestyle. So I was like, he probably hate me and all that. But the risk was too much. I tried to go to Qatar. That I invested my own personal money. I think I lost about 200,000. Then I said, okay, now let me go to Thailand. And I moved now to Thailand before now moving to Europe. So people always try to put what they want to do on the table. Look at both sides. Does it worth doing it? It's like peer pressure on youths drinking too much alcohol or drink and drive. You see young kids, like you're in Germany, you see young kids driving at very high speed. So you need to ask yourself those things. Do I need to do these things because my friends are doing it? What if I collide with another car? What is going to happen to me? So when you can figure out these things and you know it's danger for your life and for your family, stay off completely from it. So that's the way I see it on the bush falling. But hey, there are so many positive things. But cut your coat according to your size. We talk these things back home all the time. If you cannot afford it, my dad could not afford me going to South Korea. So he said, no, he cannot do that. So cut your coat according to your size. Do not engage in a very risky journey that is going to cost you your life. Like the ones I see in Mexico or on Morocco to Italy or to Spain. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, so Denzel, sorry. I mean, let me just interrupt because I think we will still come back to how we can help to curb the issue of peer pressure. Like the point we're given right now, I think it's more kind of giving the solution to avoid peer pressure. And thanks for that. We will come back to that.
Okay.
I want us to zoom more on this peer pressure itself so people can really see the effects of peer pressure. You know, like if I want to still get back to bush falling. Bush falling on peer pressure, I think it's also like it's a circle. It's a whole circle.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you look at the people who have done something home because they are abroad, and then you want to go meet them. And then even the bush fallers abroad, they suffer peer pressure. They have this issue of peer pressure too. Now, because someone left Finland and went to Cameroon and was lavishing, driving a very big car. You don't even know, maybe the person, what I take now, no. On our money, we don't gather and since how many years to go Cameroon.
Which is possible.
Now this person is lavishing and living this big life in Cameroon. Bisong now sees it and be like, hey, this particular boy and then for the particular Finland. He's like this. So you also go home, you want to live this kind of lavish, big kind of life. And then the people back home see you and they're like, hey, now so when all the people that come out of Finland can so the life of Finland, they hide let's say the team fine. So I think I should go there.
Yeah. And then why you couldn't Amina? Why are you using me as an example?
Because only you want the Finland, not be so. You want my use
why now. You know why didn't you use Germany? Why are you choosing Why did you use Germany? Why didn't you use Switzerland?
Yeah, so it becomes a chain, you know, peer pressure becomes a chain, moving from people who want to get there to even the people who are there already, and then they are pressurizing it. So Bisong, can you zoom more into this issue of peer pressure and bush falling? Because I think it has a lot of branches. We will get into these branches, but I think this bush falling thing has a lot of branches too.
Yeah, Emma, just a minute before Bisong comes in, let me just add this. You know, like you mentioned about cars, right? I'm sure there are a lot of people now that they are thinking really crazy. For the past couple of days, I've posted a couple of pictures, right, with me with a sport car, right, and just for me to debunk what people are thinking, right? That car worth at least 90 million plus CFA. It is not my car. Don't go and kill your mama.
Why do you write the caption, Denzel? Why you don't be write about that caption? People they don't see and they don't watch the video now.
I don't need to. I don't need
to. The car is yours. You must own it.
So these are some of the things that people should understand. You understand? The car is with me. The car is with me probably for the next 1 year. But Denzel do not have 90 million plus. And even if I have that money, I'll not invest it in something like that.
I'll pack and come and be a boy now.
If you come here to Switzerland, Bisong, we'll ride in the car. It's here in the garage. It's under my care, but nobody Denzel own.
Yes, so I don't care. When I don't hear,
so before you go kiss some person, before you go kiss or them, like they will see me on different days, different months with the same car, but nobody Denzel, no go kill mommy or your brother.
Thank you. Please, next time when you take a photo with that car, can you write the caption?
This
is not my car.
Well, let's continue. You see,
Yeah.
this issue of bush falling, you understand?
Yeah.
I know. I'll take it from a different perspective. You know, the first thing is what before I it's what our brothers and sisters, our friends, loved ones, family, friends, relatives, and girlfriends, and all boyfriends and whatever, what they think about people back home,
Yes.
what the impression, what they think about people abroad, the
Yeah.
impression they have, you know, the expectations, the way they look at them. One time I made one time I made a short video on my Facebook. I said, if people abroad, because this is where the pressure is coming, if people abroad are trying to underlook people who are back home or trying to look at them as nothing, sometimes I will never support that, but sometimes I blame the people back home.
Yes.
I gave a very practical example. I said, for example, if we say ex-student meeting, we're an ex-student, okay, some of us are abroad, some of us are back home, and
Yes.
something happens and they say we are contributing 2,000. If somebody abroad contributes the same 2,000, the people back home, they will say a whole bushfaller contribute that 2,000. This is the first place where a transfer of power happens.
Yes.
Once you expect the people abroad to do more, expect to give them more authority. It is simple. If you expect the people abroad to do more, then expect to give them more authority.
Yeah.
Englishman say, he who pays the piper detects the tone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This particular point, people back home, they are the ones setting this standard, which I don't accept it. You see, so now if we get to this is a practical example that all of us, we can attest to it, maybe if we're in our own social groups. If everyone is doing something and someone abroad does the same way, at the same level, the same pace as the people back home, they use the word a whole bushfaller.
Yeah.
So people shouldn't be mistaken. I'm here I could live abroad, right? Maybe I came abroad immediately after studies and I left maybe my classmates or my friends, schoolmates, who also stayed home, fending for themselves, looking for a job back home, same as I moved abroad to look for a job immediately after studies. They get a job back home, I get a job abroad. I could stay abroad for 3-4 years, working and saving my money. You understand? They too are working and saving their money in Cameroon. Most at times, except in very, very rare cases, the amount of money I may save here in 3 or 4 years, it could be equivalent, or it could not equivalent, but it could be not exact, but equivalent to what some of Cameroon will save. But what happens? I take my money, I save 3-4 million in that 3 years. I take this money, I go home. I want to spend this money in 2 weeks. You understand?
Exactly. Yeah.
That person living in Cameroon, he will never take out his savings from the bank to spend it in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So these 2 weeks that I'm spending lavishly in Cameroon, nobody should look at me like a super being. You understand? I'm just spending lavishly in a short period of time. Why? Because the only one difference, not the only difference, one of the differences between abroad and Cameroon is that there is that security, especially when it comes to job. I am very, very sure that when I come back here, I'll get a job to work more. But in Cameroon, you don't have that. That security is not there. So anything you are doing, you are saving. But if people in Cameroon start deciding to work for 3 years, save their money, and get everything they have saved for 3 years to spend it in 2 weeks, they'll look exactly like bushfallers. So people should not get it wrong. We live here, we work for 3 years, we go home to spend our 3 years saving in 2 weeks. And people who are in Cameroon, bushfallers go home, they spend the same amount of money that so many Cameroonians have this money in the bank. They even have the same amount of money or more in so many cases. So people shouldn't get it wrong. You know, people shouldn't get it wrong. And then another thing is that, okay, we understand the situation in which we come from. Like the first point, so people in Cameroon should not get that pressure. That peer pressure shouldn't affect them. That someone is just someone who has saved like you, but is spending lavishly in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And then The next thing is where they should look at the pressure is coming on this bush falling issue is it's good, as Denzel said, that it's good to travel abroad. But before you travel abroad, I understand that, yeah, we come from a country where sometimes we don't have that much opportunities. Opportunities are very, very limited. You really need to work extra hard, extra hard, and you should be graced with luck, connection, and all that. Then you can make it big in Cameroon. Those people who are making it big, they are working really, really extra hard, and they are graced with luck, connections, and everything that could be associated with it. Okay, but abroad, you just need to come, and yeah, we work extra hard as well, but it's sure, it's certain. So before you come abroad, what do you look at it? What am I good at? What am I going to do? What can I do? Is the thing in which I'm good at, is it really going to pay me in this country I am going to? Will it pay off? So these are the things you look at it. If I want to go study, don't just wake up from bed and you say, I did go abroad because I've seen Denzel who came from Switzerland and he came back home and he spent. You don't even know what Denzel does in Switzerland. Because he's from Switzerland, you to decide so you decamp, you do. I really appreciate. I know some people who have lived. I know some people who have lived abroad for a while and then they went back home and then pick up again, and they are doing better than what they were doing while they were abroad. So it's so relative. So people shouldn't be carried away. I read from you, Zion Rich. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the pay package in Cameroon is the same as that abroad. Don't forget the living standard is so high abroad. The bills and everything. The more you pay, the more you earn, the more you have to pay. But then people work in Cameroon. There are people who are working genuinely in Cameroon, and they are able to save 2 million francs, 3 million francs in 2 years, in 3 years. The same as people abroad are saving, you know. Oh. So yeah, so people, that's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying the pay package is the same. And in other cases, there are people back home who are working genuinely and they're earning twice, thrice, or quadruple what people abroad are earning. So it's not like abroad outweighs home in everything. You know?
Most of the time, it's not about how much you make; it's how you manage what you make.
How you manage what you make. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Is how you manage what you make.
How many people pay life insurance back home? How many people pay life insurance back home? There are a lot of things that you can deduct from the money, and you will see that there's very little on your table.
Exactly. Yeah, and before I round up, and this pressure again, it has really as this we are talking on relationship hot topics. This pressure on bushfallers, we all know. I don't need to. It won't be strange to you when I say it. I'm just reminding you all that we all know how this pressure on bushfallers has affected so many relationships, love relationships back home. A bushfaller lives abroad and goes home. A girl who has been with her fiancé that have been struggling, putting things together to see how they could settle together, and the bushfaller go with all this lavish, this sudden. I call it sudden because you just pop up like popcorn with so much money that it's available to spend in 2 weeks, and you tell this girl funny stories, and then she ignores, and then she.
Listen, we're coming back to the effects of peer pressure. It's okay. I mean, I know you're bubbling to say this thing. I want to say you don't love song for bushfall. I know.
No.
But it's okay. So we are coming back we are coming back to the effects of peer pressure because we know we have a lot of these effects. We have them out there. That's why we have this urge to talk about. But then before we do that, I want us to talk about this peer pressure is coming from somewhere. And I have this impression that if I am kind of pressurized by my peers out there and I get back home, I have a mother or have a father who can tell me, hey girl, you know what? You don't look at what your friends have. You cut your coat according to your material and according to your size. You don't try to get what another person, this kind of advice. I think it helps because I know there are people who they don't fall to these pressures because of the way they were brought up, because of the advice they were getting from their homes. In this regard, I just want to find out, what do we think? How do families actually help promote or push people to succumb to these peer pressures out there. For example, you'll be home, it's your family who is telling you, look, you for here. You know, see mommy loom. They don't marry all them. All man they don't marry. You don't see who they get for their house. All man don't marry except you wait, man, she don't be able to chop my chop. See for their age, you never married. But yeah, this you never. By the time they go to their sons or what, but they have big age. You don't be there 40 years. And the fun about it is sometimes these parents do these things. They do it to their kids who are struggling. For example, you'll be out there in the market trying to sell, but because your mother is comparing you to Mami Niba's kids who are all abroad or who they are lucky to have a blue collar job, your mother is now minimizing your business that you're doing. And then they are kind of making you feel bad about it. They always insult you. They always compare you to your neighbor's kids. So Denzel, yes, what do you think about parents' influence when it comes to falling, to bowing to this peer pressure?
Yeah, I think hurtful people hurt other people. When someone is broken, the best they can do is to break other people. It's a pattern that, it's like a vicious circle. It continues from generation to generation because these people have no better understanding of life. It's like wherever the wind blows them, they go there, they try to blow another person there. I think 8 or 9 out of 10 families back home have somehow, one way or the other, contributed to peer pressures for any offspring, like probably a breadwinner or any active, strong young woman or man that is growing up in their family. They always exhibit their own insecurities into the lives of their cousins, nieces, children, and all that. Your friends are married, you are not married. I think it's coming from the place where most parents do not understand parenting. Most parents do not understand parenting. Parenting, for me, this is my belief, it is a very complex term. It's not just about putting food on the table. Like Bison said, he said something about money is not just all that is being needed to get married. You need to be prepared mentally. It's just like parenting. You need to be prepared mentally how to guide your kids or your relatives. And if you are not, it's clear that you are going to project distortions or your own insecurities into the lives of these people. Our people, they have so much. I am coming from that place. I was being compared with different people that I do not even know how they're living their life, people that we could not even see what was under their roof. And all these things it helped me in a positive and a negative way. I was one of those guys that my dad was like, he would throw me out of the house, I think in a month, like 3 to 4 times. In a year, like
you too young from heavy warrior.
My papa na cowboy. Papa na cowboy. Just not holy. But I mean, he is almost twice as huge as me. So he has the muscles. Yeah, he can do a lot of things. Then he's also coming from a broken place. He's broken. So he doesn't know how he can manage things. I used to tell people that my dad is a warrior, while I am a leader. My dad is not a good leader, but he is a warrior. I am a leader. I am not a warrior. My dad can work from now till next month to provide food and cater for the family. But it's hard for me to do that, but I can guide the family and bring peace, do different things that we all should live in harmony. Yeah. You understand? But he was this guy that would beat me up, throw me out. Some days I would even sleep. When you plan houses, it's easy to root off the door and the windows. So some days I would sleep there with no doors, no window. So that's what I'm saying. It helped me in another way to push me that, hey, Denzel, you need to work extremely hard. Not to prove a point to your dad that you are now successful, but to be better off than what he thought you would be. You know,
Okay.
so, but our parents, they push us a lot. The pressure that they are putting on us, it's killing us. It has even helped, like contributed to so many premature marriages.
Exactly.
On how do they call it again? Unwanted pregnancies, because the kids, they are trying to belong, they are trying to appease their parents, they are trying to do the things that it's like they're trying to satisfy their family's urge, what they want. Very few, like, it's really crazy. But the bottom line is, I think it's high time for people to wake up and say, hey, mommy, daddy, you had your own life. Now this is my own life, not in a disrespectful way, but do not engage in things that you want to please your family. Like this bushfalling thing, this marriage thing, we just need to be careful, because at the end, if it collapses on you. It's like a roof. If you're under the roof and it falls down, it falls on you. Your dad, your mom might not be there. So that's just what I think I will add to the question.
Thank you, Denzel. So I will urge people to share the video, guys. Please keep tagging your friends, because we still have some minutes to go. Tag your friends. It's never too late for them to hear maybe the effects of peer pressure, to hear the solution of peer pressure, because I think that's the most important part. If we blab here and say all of this and we don't give possible solutions, then it's not going to help. So Bisong, I want to hear from you. I do not want to limit you on parents in terms of pushing people to fall for this peer pressure. You can want to maybe expand a little bit other areas, maybe from friends also pushing you into peer pressure, kind of, family, and also social media, which is the most, which is the highest area where we see a lot of those things these days. So
this before I even say anything, let me just I see very well now. Let me, before I say what I have to say, I will just give this shout out, and I say please they should share. We have very, very active followers here. Zion Rich, Berryway, Che Charlotte, Andre Couple from that's my guy from the UK. Please share. I haven't seen you guys shared yet. Very well, I can't see shared across your name. Please share. And I'm mentioning Berryway because she's one of those people that have given me this social media pressure, this peer pressure on social media. Berryway cooks a desi. Berryway cooks a wonderful eggplant Sunday. Oh my God! I enter African shop like Christmas. I didn't even have enough money with me, but I just enter African shop. That's why I'm mentioning her name. He cooks so eggplant, so he put up a story. I want to see, so I see that's how she was stirring her pot. That means the eggplant turned so some meat turned to another spoon, so it go round some candle. Hey, I said, I don't feel leave the one. I just wake up, enter African shop like madman. Now one peer pressure that way Berryway put on me. So Berryway, I'm warning you for the last time. I'll block you. Well, let me go to parents.
Come us hard, guys. Come us hard, please, and share.
Please pop. Share. I beg. So what I wanted to say about this parenting and peer pressure. In the course of our parents trying to lead us to the better way, I don't want to blame them, because most of the times they are doing it unconsciously or out of ignorance. Exactly. But you see this issue of parents comparing this child to this child, you see this issue where parents compare this child to in short, I went through that because I had some people around me, some relative cousins around me where, hey, mama, that means say, I'm not sure they will ever go out of that kind first 3, first 4, first 5 of class. Now, if you been about papa measuring rot, that means say, as he just sit there, so anything you just take me, so just measure up. See, now all you own that. You need to see the one there that they go school, so they ever take that first. This mentality, it gave me the image that whatever thing they are doing, their lifestyle, their behavior was the model one, was the one I had to copy. I had to behave like them. Yeah, they were doing good in school, but that doesn't mean behaviorally they were behaving well. You know, even if they were so disrespectful, even if they were so like delinquent or whatever, I was liable to copy from them because my papa don't make me I know say that picking them, that them be the best picking. Just because they pass, they take first, they take the pass book, you know. And this is what happens when you start comparing your child with every other child around who is doing good in one aspect in their life. Maybe it's education, maybe it's doing house chores. You start comparing your own child. Know that your child will not only copy what you are talking about, but they will get into that person that you are comparing. They will look into their life and then they will copy everything, even the bad aspects of them. They will copy it because you are giving them the impression that they are the role models of life that you have to follow. So I urge every parent that even if you are picking, it is slack for some one area, put your picking for that type of cautioning quiet, man to man, one-on-one. You guide your child. Don't compare your child. Don't use another child to measure your child, to direct your child. This, that. Then back to social. Then we come again now to social media. I want to tell people that nobody should be frightened by social media. The only things we post on this media is what we want people to see.
Of course.
You know, the only things, and we don't post things the way they are. You understand? We don't post things the way they are. Even me, before starting this show, before we started, I don't fix my place so well. Give me a surprise visit tomorrow. Maybe you not even see this wall behind. They won't, you know. So nobody should be moved by what you see on social media. The truth is, everybody is struggling.
That's it.
Oh man. Everybody is struggling. Oh man, see, life the beat almost all man. In short, life the beat all man. We are all struggling. We are just surviving. We are just surviving. And the things we do on media, we only do the things that we want people to see. At one show, I told people that you may see me, maybe I'm putting on, you may see me, I'm putting on this good shirt. You don't even know it's there for down. Sometimes I even there for yes now, with your lips. But because I know it's only this, you know, because I know this is the only part that is visible. I make this part look good. No go kill yourself.
Exactly.
You understand? No go kill yourself. Yes, people should not kill themselves because you don't see. So you don't even know what's there for that. You don't even know whether I don't just go now for some person way the say close. I say give me the close, my go taste whether it correct me. I just use that car attend my show. After that, I go back and say the close no correct me. You don't know. People go extra mile just to do things. Yes,
exactly.
Yes, people go extra mile just to do their things on Facebook. The Facebook so is fun. Come here, do your fun. I wouldn't advise any. Social media is it's very it's a very informative place and a place to have fun. But now, what kind of information are you getting from here? Come and get those positive vibes. The positive vibes. Inform yourself. Sometimes I get a lot of information about what is happening in Cameroon from social media. You know, sometimes I get information here even before my own brothers and sisters who are living in Cameroon. I don't already see the news. You know, it's informative. But if you are coming here to get a lifestyle from here, you know, if you are coming on social media to get a lifestyle, it is the wrong place. Trust me, it is the very wrong place. And I have seen girls have looked at the guy's profile on Facebook and then they say, he no even get swag.
Thank you, Bison. Avec Naso, no use I'm going to get to say. Okay,
seriously. And if you know, if you had no strong, you go kill yourself. You can't show swag for Facebook. You understand? Girls have looked at a guy's picture for Facebook. I say, he no even get swag.
Okay, so now, thank you guys. I mean, you guys are killing me. So I want us to look at the effects of peer pressure, and I want to narrow it a little bit. So we choose where we want to fall. I know in terms of marriage, we have fake marriages out there, not fake as if they signed a fake document, but fake as if you were getting into something. You wanted to please a set of people. That's one effect. I don't know if Denzel or Binson want to take that. And then the effect of also peer pressure is this rampant setting of nudes these days. Because, and which is still connected to marriage. Since your friends are getting married, this guy is asking for a nude. If you don't send, and then there's a possibility that you don't have a husband. So you want to keep him, you know, peer pressure. So this song, I don't know which one you want to take. Denzel, I don't know which one you want to take. Also, peer pressure.
Probably nudes.
Peer pressure is also connected to domestic violence, guys. A lot of people are inside into violent relationship, violent marriages, but they don't want to get out because of peer pressure. If I get out, I'm going to be like my friends who are not married. Then what's the difference? So I need to stay inside. I need to show that there's a difference. I mean, I'm also married. So I don't know, we can go for a short break. And we come back, then you guys choose one of those topics to talk about. Bisong is already talking about nude, yes, normally. So I don't know if the technical team is available. We go for a short break. If not, I have the feeling we can continue. So Denzel, which one do you want to take? We'll take your topic before Bisong comes and talk about.
Okay. I would like to talk on the prayer pressure on marriages. Sorry,
guys, 2 minutes each, please.
Okay, good. I think so the effects on prayer pressure on marriages, it's really alarming, and it's time for people to understand those pressures, the triggers. Where are they coming from? If the trigger is coming from your mom or from your cousin or from some of your friends on social media, it's high time you do your best to make sure that you avoid having that conversation with these people, because you like failing to plan, it's planning to fail. And when you get into a marriage unprepared, like Bisong said, then you are preparing to destroy that marriage. And marriage, it's a very good institution, but when you get in unprepared, the disaster is going to be huge on you. So do not be pressured. What I would advise you to do is go to relationship counselors or coaches, buy books, go to YouTube, watch videos on relationships, on single people, how to date, places that you can go, how can you attract a potential spouse, what are you supposed to do, work on yourself. I think that is on the side on self-love. Develop yourself. You are a very important creature that God created, and it's obvious that there is someone for you, but you need to work on yourself. Are you going to school? Focus on your education. Are you out of school? Focus on your job. Focus on making your money. Why you not just make, like when I talk about make your own money, people will be like, maybe you focus just on your money. No, while you're working your money, you're saving your money, you are investing your money, you're also buying books on relationships, paying coaches to help and counsel you. So you should know when someone is coming to you, if that person is toxic, or the person you can practice a healthy relationship with this person. So do not limit yourself on the things just around you, but please do not be pressured. Do not be pressured. Have a better understanding of what you want. Do not see your friend is doing well, or they are, like Bisong said, we post only the things that we want you to see. You see couples holding hands and doing all that on social media, and you feel like your own has come to an end. No, delay is not denial. Because your own has not come does not mean God has denied you a man or a woman. So do not be pressured. Stay put to yourself, be prayerful, dedicate yourself to whatever God you worship. But I think most of us are Christian, and we encourage that. So keep praying. God is going to direct you your own man, but be prepared before the man comes. Don't just wait when he comes, because if you are not prepared and he arrives, you are going to lose it because you are not ready for it. So how can you be prepared? Is read books, go on coaches that They should counsel you, educate you on what to do and what not to do, and involve yourself in community groups, like church choirs and all those things. Get there and involve, and I think everything is going to be on your side, but do not be pressured.
Yeah, thank you, Denzel. So, Bisong, can you please tell us about this rampant sending of nude these days as one of the effects of peer pressure? You know, we had a very recent case on the platform, and then it's so disheartening that somebody comes and gives a number of girls, like these people have been sending me nudes, and then we are still trying to solve the case, and another one goes and shows, hey, he goes sending only worry. Sometimes, I look at this photo, I'm like, what is happening to sisters? What's happening to this peer pressure? Like, you want to send because you need money and because you need to secure a man, you open your leg. In fact, I even saw it daily. Even me once where they had high part of the thing, so I wonder that kind of like. Can you tell us about this? Honestly, funny.
Yes, I do have it. I wanted to. I'm interested in this. We have this product on the advert now. I wanted to ask. I forgot to ask the last time.
Someone said Jeanette, or is it Jeanette left the chat? And the person's name was there.
So I wanted to ask about this advert we have, but I was supposed to ask the last time I spoke, but I forgot. This Escape, because now I want to have a little bit of Jansa. Can Escape make me Jansa? Who is the CEO of that Escape? They should contact me and tell me. I want. You see that girl advertise? Well, you see this note wahala. No matter how much, honestly, I have come to the conclusion that no matter how much we talk about it, it will never stop.
Yeah, that's true.
It will never stop. But you see these very, very vulnerable girls out there who send their nudes to I don't want to say to a man, but they send it to men. They just forward. See, I have seen there was one screenshot of a nude before this, the one Delhi showed us. There was one screenshot where the nude picture, or was it a video? On WhatsApp, he had the slanting arrow like that it's forwarded. It was forwarded. That the picture was forwarded. Then I look up. You see, the owner of the nude sent it to this guy, but it showed that it was forwarded. It means they are sending it to more than one man.
No, the guy has been forwarding. No, Bisong, sorry for cutting you.
No, I'm not talking on this case. I'm not talking on this case.
I know. I mean, just to tell you that because it was forwarded, it means the guy forwarded, not like the girl necessarily forwarded to many people. The guy might have forwarded to a lot of people before it got to you too.
So anyway, what I'm saying is the reasons for all this, the most liable reason is that young girls of today, they are after what they can't afford. They are after what they can't afford. You see all these fancy brands, all the iPhones, immediately there is a new iPhone is out. No say now season that for rampant, not the rampant. Trust me, when iPhone 12 was out, I observed these things. When iPhone 12 was out, do you know the number of nudes we had on Facebook? It's kind of alive. I'm keeping track. Would they not have an iPhone? Which I'm not even using iPhone. No, I'm using Choronko. But let's mark this day of today. Which iPhone do we have now? Is it iPhone 12? For iPhone users, someone should help me. Is it iPhone 12?
Yes, iPhone 12.
Okay, let's mark maybe next year, or is it December or January? They'll probably have iPhone 13. Just wait and see nude cases during then. You can't confirm. You see all the Gucci, all the Louis Vuitton, all the Chanel, all these things, because these little girls back home, they desire these things. They see their friends having them. So they also want to be in possession of these things. But the things they are doing, they can't work for it.
Yeah. They want to fake one even. And the ones are even fake, which is crazy.
Yes, They can't work for it, you know. So now the easiest way to get it is to lure these guys with their nakedness. You start sending your nakedness to men, thinking that when they see it, they go gaga. When they see, let me advise my dear sisters, it was back then where woman in nakedness used to be like Juju Calabar. Nowadays, we look it as a comedy skit. We look it like that, we laugh, we pass it to the next man. They should be very aware. But first time, when you see a woman nakedness, you cover your eye. You know, nowadays, a woman's nakedness is like a comedy skit. We just look at it, we laugh, we send it to the next man, say, "Bo, look that first one, look the one he own." We compare, we talk about it. It doesn't move anybody. It didn't move no man. May you know, see, honestly, now, so as I'm talking, nowadays, a woman's nakedness, it triggers nothing to any man. So these girls who think you can move mountains, yes, I'm telling you, I said these girls who think you can move mountains with your nakedness, Siam, will look at it, like rest in peace picture where sorry, sometimes we laugh, we pass them. It will not do us anything. No key yourself.
Oh,
you understand?
Thank
so
you.
This not taking much of the time.
Yeah.
Beriwe says lies. Beriwe, send me a note and I'll make a video of how I'm going to react.
Victor, you know the president of all men. See, let's not make
I'm speaking for my fellow men. I beg, allow us.
You're not president of all men, you know. Let's not make this things like all these women they just sit and they forward news. No, a lot of men are asking it out there. We know a lot of men are asking for.
Okay, let me ask you. See,
sorry?
B. How many nude senders go to the Association of Nude Senders? Ask them, say they don't send nude for who? He give every momo for 50K. May they can't tell me.
They surely get on see like Jeanette on a waiting name. If I would ask for handout, he send nude. He shows us so they don't
go to the association for Jangi has for nude senders. Ask them, say, who don't ever send nude to Chom Jangi? Or who don't ever send nude to the sending 50K?
Now they
I think what I would tell our women is for them to try and do something that it can earn them a little bit of money. I know we are against time, but
no, you put that as an end, as a solution to all of this, so that we don't take this, just so that we really we are almost coming to an end. Thank you. So you can take it as your concluding word as a solution to all of these. Yes, and just to say, you know, I keep seeing some comments because Bisong said this news will never end. I see people now commenting, yes, we're not going to ever end news, we're not going to ever end. No, I'm sorry. That's not the ideology. Then we don't have to talk about against it. No need to talk against it. If first of all, we need to start by telling ourselves that it will never end. Because I'm seeing people now comforting themselves, need to never end. And when you comfort yourself, you go say your own night. Say your own night. We will still receive for in-laws association. We are going to comment about it. We are going to talk about it. Your name will be there. Unfortunately, like your name will be there. People will know that you're the one. So you come back and see comments will not go ever end mute. See,
the fact say I never go Cameroon, assist a hotel, so they ask me now get the hotel. They tell me say I not send I get that hotel.
So what I'm just trying to say is, please, we are really trying to discourage this in the best way we can. If they can discourage new sending even from married people, because you don't know, even you're not in control of all of this. What about unmarried people? So to come and somebody's openly saying, you know, go ever end, it's your business, sister. It's your business, brother. The fun is when you come off out there where they laugh, you're the one with this stigma. You're the one with this stigma. People are not going to share it with you. So all in all, I think the topic of peer pressure is coming up just to let us know that sending nudes is part of the effect, which is not something positive. So we are not going to say it's not going to end. The issue of marriage, this peer pressure on marriage, if you're in there and it's it's something you need to address the violence you're going through. Stop thinking about the fact that you go come on me a friend and they laugh, you say why before enter away you come on back, you come on your family go send you back, you go come on all of this. It's not about you going out there, but the bottom line is you should not sit and bear the things you have to bear, have marks all over your body. Nobody knows about it because of peer pressure. I think it's very important for us to look at those things and put them into consideration. So that being said, Des, I'm going to give you 1 minute to conclude, telling us about what do you think about it?
Okay.
The solution to peer pressure, like what can we do about it, please?
Okay, as a summary of what we have been talking all about, I think don't be pressured. Learn to love yourself and stick to your values and all that, and do not be carried away because you see your friends out there trying to live large and you cannot afford large. It's okay if you can afford a certain lifestyle, you can take care of yourself, but if you cannot afford a certain standard of living, do not do it. I cannot leave Zurich and go to live in New York City because a couple of my friends live in New York. I cannot afford that life in New York. So cut your coat according to your size. Do not be pressured. We have talked about so many different things. Just love yourself and be prayerful and do all that. And lastly, on the side of the note, as someone who studies behaviors of people, I know when I hear people say it's never going to end, it's like we are assuming or we are endorsing a certain concept that we will continue to practice it. Do I understand that? Of course I do. But I'm saying that you're putting your life at a risk, you're putting your life at a danger, you are exposing yourself out there for people who might not even cherish you as you want them to cherish you. I don't want to focus on the women because I know when emotion is concerned, people do a lot of things. When you are in love, you do a lot of things. But I want to talk to my brothers.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a better man to share someone's privacy with another person.
Exactly.
It doesn't make you qualified. Or there is no pride in saying I'm dating that girl and I have her note. This is it as a proof. It's just as there is no pride in drinking 10 bottles of beer. There is no pride in it.
Yeah.
There is no pride in you distributing a woman's picture because she sent it to you out of trust, out of love, or out of whatsoever you people had going on. There is no pride in it. Do marriages, relationships, do they have privacy? I believe so. Do they do things that it's supposed to stay within the reach of the bedroom? I believe so. I believe in all those things. But make sure you do not bring in a third party into it. And for you, the woman, if you know this man is not trustworthy enough, do not share like private issues. It's not just about note. It could be some kind of information. It could be whatsoever.
Yeah.
Keep those things to yourself. But hey, bro, it doesn't make you a better man because you have someone's note or because you are sharing someone's note with another person. It doesn't add money into your bank account. It doesn't make you worthy of anything. It doesn't make you more handsome or more fit or whatsoever. Instead, it brings you down. So as a man, I'm talking to my brother, let's learn to update our behaviors, update our characters. Let's be men, and men do things differently. Let's work as men. Men do things differently. We should stop inflicting pains on our sisters, and we say we love our women, and we say we love our sisters. You have a sister, a mom at home, so let's try to be men and let's work as men. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Denzel. That was so powerful. I mean, before I get to Bison, there's a comment I want to quickly address because these are some of the things we are trying to avoid here. This Lambert, I don't know if it's Lambert, whoever, Paul Lambert, maybe it's a fake profile. This issue of stop judging people, please, please, and please. These are the kind of comments we do not want here. You don't come and tell us not to judge individuals about sending nudes because we don't promote it on this platform. It's okay if they send nudes, but we won't talk about it here. We do not promote it. And just to let us understand, when these news are being exposed, like what happened 2 days ago on Delhi's matchup, I think you'll be one of those people who are going to judge these ladies for this. Yes, I've seen somebody commented, Jeanette, I don't know how to pronounce her name, if it's Jeanette or whoever left the chat. Now she's the topic of discussion because it's her nude that was out there. It's her name that was out there. She's facing this stuff and you are not there to defend her. We don't even know what she's going through. Yet when things like this are being discussed, people like you come and tell us not to judge people, individuals, because, oh, sorry, it's not the platform for that and it's not the time for that. So comments like this, I really thank you. Bison, can you just go ahead, please?
Yeah. This note, if we have to start talking about it, then we will talk about it till maybe the end of the world. But well, the only thing I can say is, I think this sending of note, it is the biggest form of low self-esteem I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Once a girl, when you think you can't attract a guy, when you think you can't be pleasant to a guy, when you think you have no meaning with your physical self, with your external body, except you have to send a picture of your private part, then you will mean something to him. Then it's the biggest form of low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know, and and I plead with with every fellow woman out there, my sisters, you know, I plead with you that if a man, if the pictures the man will see about you like well dressed, if the pictures a man will see or video or whatever he sees you well dressed without your nude, if you are not enticing to him, know that even your nude won't be enticing to him. That your nude won't make him come to you. Trust me.
Exactly.
You know, no man can never like woman because he see nakedness.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah. So it's just something. And then in general, we were talking about peer pressure. I think there are ways which we can try to avoid. We have always, because the truth is we are living in a world that is challenging us to become like everyone else, you know. That's the pressure we have. We are living in a world that is challenging us to become like everyone else around us. Because the things you see on media, sometimes there's something telling you, try to start get this swag like this person. Try to start speaking like this person. Try to start walking like this person. These are the pressures sometimes it puts in us. But now you must be strong enough in order to avoid this pressure. And some of the ways we have to avoid this pressure is by us choosing our friends wisely. Choose your friends according to your values. Choose your friends according to your values, your objectives in life. These are the criteria you should take in choosing your friends. And then we should also learn to avoid putting ourselves in situations that will make us uncomfortable. You know, if you find yourself in a situation where you don't feel comfortable in any group, they are doing something that it's not comfortable for you. There is nothing wrong with you walking away. There is nothing wrong. That doesn't make you look weak, because this is how the pressure comes. First, something tells you like, if you walk away, you are weak. You are not a guy. You are not this. You are not that. When I was growing up, the first cigarette I ever tried is because I was in a group of guys who were all smoking, and I was the only one who wasn't smoking. And then someone offered a cigarette to me, and then I felt like, if I deny him, he go there say, I no be guy, I no be correct by the man, I no be strong man. Then I fell into it. You understand? So there is nothing wrong in walking away. It doesn't make you look weak. It doesn't make you not man enough. There's nothing wrong. And then we should also be true to ourselves. Learn to be true to yourself. Know who you are. Know your worth. This is who I am. These are my weaknesses. These are my strengths. Be true to yourself. Because in most cases, we are not true about ourselves. And once you are not true about yourself, anything you see from outside, anything you see from someone else, anything someone else tells you about you, you think it is true. But you should be true to yourself. You start believing even people, even the things people say which are not right about you, you start accepting. And to round up, the biggest point of all, the biggest of all, which so many of us we are lacking, is the learning how to say no. If you say no, no is not disrespectful. It's not weakness. It's not being disrespectful. It's not being less of a man. It's not being less of a human. It's not being, see, no is no. We should learn how to say no. They give you the thing, it is not your thing. No, I know demi day. I know one time. I don't do this. I don't do that. We should learn to say no, because so many of us are falling into peer pressure because we don't have that zeal. We don't have the willpower of saying no. There's nothing wrong in saying no. Huh? Go nightclub today. Go smoke cigar. Go smoke banger. No, I know demi day. I don't do it. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't make you feel less in any way. It is just you. It is the ability of saying no that will save us from a lot of things. So please, let's learn how to say no. That's how I crown the day.
Thank you,
Emanuela. Thank you.
Thank you, Bison. That was powerful. You said something really powerful. I wouldn't want to go without pointing that out. Choose your friends according to your values. I mean, that's so powerful. And if you haven't learned anything today, I just want you to learn about this. Choose your friends according to your values. Those are two things that are important. First, when you choose your friend according to your value, and then you have self-esteem, you love yourself, you know what you want, you know what you're out for, those things are going to play so much on you not being able to fall on this peer pressure stuff. Why do I say this? When you choose your friends according to your value, you guys work on the same lane. You think alike, you want to do things alike, yet self-love needs to sustain that. In what way? Your friends according to your values might get married before you. Your friends according to your values might fall bush. They might go abroad, you know, our famous fall bush quote unquote, might go there. But then, because you know what you want, because you know where you are driving to, because you know the value you have, because you have some self-love, you won't fall, you won't be pressurized because your friends, your circle of friends are all married. You won't fall for this because all your circle of friends have gone abroad and then they are taking care of their families. You will go one step at a time. So thanks so much, guys. I really, really enjoyed this show. It was wonderful. Thank you, Bissam. Thank you, Benze. Thanks. And next week, I wish to have you people on show again. So thanks to everyone. Thanks for all the comments. It was wonderful. Next week,
come and tell us about Escape now. Where is is Delhi the CEO of Escape? I want to.
So you're going to hear about Escape after that. You're going to get the oh my goodness. Yeah, so just to let you know that when we do these topics like this, it's not about us, it's not for us, it's for your own good. When we say these things, we are not going to end up living your life for you. I won't come and stop you from sending the nudes. No. Unfortunately, I will just have to comment and laugh when this nude is being sent. So the best I can do is avoid sending nudes for myself. And the best I can do is advise you against sending these things, because your life is not my own. So when we do these things, please don't think we are saying all of this because we are sent, or we are saying all of this because we haven't made some past mistakes. Oh no. On the contrary, because of the past mistakes and because we have learned from them, we think we need to handle these topics. So next week, next Friday, same time, same place, the same clothes, the same voice,
same venue,
the same everything. Thank you, guys, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Madison Gafison.
And I'm Claudia Gafison.
And we are the founders of Lead Missions International. We are so excited to announce to you our 2021 suite of conferences.
We all know how the last 12 months have been, but we believe that this is the time to arise and take the lead in our lives, families, communities, and the nations.
That is why we are inviting you to our Men Lead Conference holding July 21st and 22nd in Mission, Texas.
And our Leading Lady Conference on July the 23rd and 24th in Mission, Texas.
In our Men Lead Conference this year, we are exploring leadership above and beyond.
And for our ladies, we will be exploring the 3 V's: vision, values, and voice.
You know how the bar of leadership keeps dropping in our society today, but we believe that now is the time to arise and to go above and beyond and to set the stage for the right kind of leadership that we want in our families, in our communities, and in our nations.
Ladies, we shall be uncovering how to add a voice to our vision and values as we live out our true calling as leaders in society.
So why not join us July 21st through the 24th in Mission, Texas, and in person, or from the comfort of your home somewhere around the world.
This year we'll be coming to you from the Lead Missions headquarters in Mission, Texas, and we'll be broadcasting to the rest of the world.
Please watch this.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful city of Mission, Texas. My name is Obed Garza. I'm a pastor here at Freedom Life Church. And this is the auditorium where we're going to be hosting the 2021 Men Lead Conference and Leading Ladies Conference with Lead Missions International. Welcome. Here at Freedom Life Church, we're so excited to be hosting the 2021 Leading Ladies Conference and Men Lead Conference with Lead Missions International. If you're joining us live, click on the link below and get access to local hotel accommodations. I'm sure you're going to find something that suits you just right.
Wow. So, why not register now and take a front seat? Thank you.